I thought there was only one way to start this, which is I said it off camera. I'm gonna say it to you on camera now. Ashley Cole, congratulations. Yeah, I know how much you've given to the game and still give to the game currently. So you deserve this moment. You deserve this to be honoured in front of everybody. How you feeling?
Thank you for your kind words, firstly. But no, I think, as a kid, when you start out, you never expect something like this. So my journey's been, I've had bumps along the road, along that journey, but, I've also enjoyed a lot of the moments and, the stuff I achieved at Arsenal and Chelsea, and obviously playing over 100 games for England is something I never dreamed of as a kid. So now to celebrate that with my wife and 2 kids and my mum, that's what it's about, right?
Who was the first person you told? That's what I want to know, because I know that is, when you get that initial reaction and joy, the first person is usually the person that you want to tell first.
Yeah, it was my wife. I didn't tell my kids because they got big mouths. So probably go around their school, you know what I mean? But no, I was super proud to obviously get the message from my agent, and then I had to tell my wife, and she was super happy for me, and then my mum, and then my close friends.
I love the fact that you wanted to spread that amongst family first. Naturally, the rest of the world's going to find out. We get little whispers, but you deserve it because you think about some of the names that's on that list and some of the people that's already been inducted. Does that show you, if you didn't already know, the impact you've had on the game?
Yeah, as a player, you don't really know, right? You're just playing because I love the game. Whatever badge I wore, I tried to give everything for that badge. Every player wants to achieve, higher and greater things, and I've been lucky enough to been in teams that were winners, and I've won, and then obviously to get the message to say you're going to be inducted was, I'm not saying it meant more than all my other trophies, but when it's that personal, and it's gratitude for all the hard work, and I say sacrifice in a football sense. Yeah, it really gives you a real sense of achievement and belief in what you did was, entertaining to some people. So yeah, these moments don't come around every year. So I'll enjoy this one. I'll enjoy this year.
It's a full circle moment for you, and it is credit to everything that you've done so far in the game. Keywords being so far, but let me take you back, right? Let's turn to 99, 2000. Number 34, I remember correctly, you had Arsenal, correct?
I started 34, yeah.
34. I remember.
I didn't have a choice, by the way. And I didn't care, right? It's one of them, you don't care.
What was it like in terms of the first moments, the debut? What was those early moments like for you?
Yeah, you're creating, that first part of the dream. Again, as a 12-year-old, I never expected to be playing football at a pro level. Never expected at 18 to be playing for Arsenal, but tried to work as hard as I could, tried to give everything to improve and develop and become a better player in that youth team. And then that moment comes where all that hard work is gifted with an opportunity. And then the hard work continues and starts again, basically. So the minute you get that shirt, the minute you play for Arsenal and make your debut, then you understand that there's hard work. It's going to be a long road, but that feeling of putting that shirt on and playing in front of all them fans and playing with my teammates who helped me immensely through my journey. Yeah, it's very satisfying. And then, play 1 minute of the game and you're like, yeah,
I'm a man now.
I feel like I can, I belong here. You have that little bit of belonging. So, yeah, it was an incredible feeling.
I want to take people back a little bit further than that. You started a lot further forward, didn't you?
Yes.
So most people don't know that. I can imagine now, looking at your game, the left foot you have, where did the comeback in terms of your positioning come from? But tell me about the early stages in playing further forward.
Well, from the age of 7, when I first got into obviously Sunday League football, I was a striker. I was very shy, timid, but I was quick. And, going through, that youth kind of level, at that time, speed is a killer, right? You've got a bit of speed, you've got something over your opposition and opponents. And yeah, I had a half-decent Sunday League team, very competitive as a group, and we won a lot. And yeah, gradually through maybe from 7 till maybe 13, 14, I was still a striker. And then around 15, 16, I I got put in the older group in the youth team, which is at the time was the under 18s, and I think their left back done his cruciate, so I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to go up, and then it was about taking your chance. And I think I played wing back at the time, left wing back. Defensively, didn't really know what to do, but I had a little bit of an edge in the attacking areas, and yeah, the players I played with, again, a little bit older, I really learnt from them on the arts of defending and understanding my responsibility to defend first and then attack after. So that's probably where you get the hybrid of attack and defend at the same time.
We're going to talk about that because I think that was generational. Just what you did in the game at that moment, we'd only ever seen in probably the foreign players, the Roberto Carloses, the Cafus, but there was something about your game that you wanted to establish yourself. And if I speak as a fullback or as a player coming after you, a lot of people definitely idolise themselves on what Ashley Cole did. Where did that bit come from, the bit to want to go forward, to impact the game in the final third as well as be a good defender?
I think it goes back to a little bit of the childhood, right? I was always small. And as a striker, you can probably get away with that, small, slight, quick. But, the older I got, you play against physically bigger players. And the one thing I had to kind of have a certain mindset and mentality was, I have to, it's not an act, the hard man act. It's just, I understood this is my livelihood, right? I don't want no one taking my job. I don't want no one taking and ripping my dream away. So you end up having that little bit of, and it certainly wasn't ego, it wasn't arrogance. Edge. That's what it is. And I needed that to compete against these big players. So that's what I felt I had to have. I had to have a bit of bite and aggression in me, but that little bit of edge that would obviously set me on the level where I didn't have the finesse of a Carlos. Maldini was bigger than me. He was physically better than me, but I had to find me and what makes me tick and use my attributes. And that was a real attribute that I used that really pushed me I feel, to succeed.
As someone who watched your career, I can think about the battles that you had, and some of the battles that you had were legendary. I think about the one against Joaquin. Is one that I think about. You made him think about immediate. Ronaldo's another one that automatically shouts out. Messi's another one, but this is your show. So you tell me, what was your toughest battle? What moment do you think you was like, I had to get ready for that one because you knew what they were bringing to you?
I think all three of them that you mentioned, Ortega, I think was it 2002 World Cup maybe?
Yeah. Good player.
In Japan. But again, I never tried to, change, the way I prepared for a game. I tried to prepare in every game the same. But yeah, I think them big games and playing against big players, it makes you produce big moments. And I'm not saying I definitely didn't get the edge on them every single time, but I felt, I held my own, which as a defender, I think that's all you could do. I think the attacking players have more advantage than the defensive players. So yeah, I would say I held my own. But again, I respect every player I've played against in the Premier League. They've gave me, different difficulties at times, and people like Aaron Leonard have ripped me and tore me at moments. So yeah, I certainly hold my hands up to the quality of the Premier League and what I try to give back also.
For the record, there's a lot of wingers that sat in Ashley Cole's pocket as well, chilling there, still there to
this day.
There's a
few, but there's a few I got ripped, and probably lucky social media is not
as prominent.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your favourite memories, because when I was really looking at your career, your Arsenal career is a Hall of Fame career in its own, and your Chelsea career is a Hall of Fame career in its own. So it's very rare that you have someone that has effectively two qualified Hall of Fame careers. What was your favourite moment at each one of those clubs?
Yeah, it's maybe, and I'm not trying to slide out of the question. When you retire, you actually, obviously, respect both clubs immensely. And the joy I had at Arsenal is my boyhood club. They gave me everything, and I'll never ever, obviously, forget that moment and forget my times there. In terms of, a magic moment, I think, even though I won trophies, it has to be, making my debut at Highbury. I think, as a kid, walking down that Highbury hill and then walking into the marble hallway, that gives you goosebumps just thinking about it. So, you know, that was my dream, to actually walk into them that hallway and go through them massive black doors.
How tight the pitches
how
were
tight
there.
it was.
Oh.
Yeah, that's, you know, I lived the dream there. And then, you know, after a while it becomes a job where you have to win. You know, it's not like, it's fine, I've made my dream come true. Is now, no, now I want to win. So, you know, you go from the dream to now wanted to win week in, week out. Every year you want to win trophies. And I was lucky enough, I had great players around me, and we effectively won some major trophies. So it's not about the trophies, it's about, in this instance, is about my magic moment has to be just making my debut in front of Highbury. And then of course Chelsea, yeah, different kind of mentality. I was probably a little bit more angrier when I went there. I played with a little bit more anger and just wanted to win. It was all about winning. And then obviously, again, my magic moment, probably winning the Champions League.
Man,
yeah.
I've only got a couple more questions for you, Ashley, because I could sit here and listen to you talk all day. I love your involvement, and we've had the opportunity to interact, and I've been around you in terms of tournament mode with the under-21s. And I see the development of someone like Cole Palmer, who you know really well, and you would have seen at so many different levels. How special is it when you, as a coach, have that influence over a player and you have that impact over a player, and you're seeing him now grow, especially as a young England player as well?
Yeah, I'm certainly not sitting here taking credit for him.
No, of course
you know,
not.
But
Coach
no,
Wayne Palmer speaks for himself.
Exactly.
Right?
But no, I've had the privilege to work with these guys now for 3 years in that setup, and you know, you see a lot of players that's came through and continue to develop and now step up to, you know, England's senior team and now producing a lot of big moments in games in the Premier League, and that's always our aim, right? Is when they come with us, we have 10 days with them. You try to give them the little nuggets that they might need going forward. Always, you know, trying to reassure them that we're always here as coaches if they want help, you know, off the field stuff, which I think is important. And then, yeah, you just hope one day, you know, that little switch in the head clicks and you know, the nuggets we've gave them, that push and the chat about the mentality, that it's hard work that's going to get you there, and then your quality will dictate how far and what level you go to. And Cole Palmer is a perfect case of that. He loves football. He was, you know, the first one on the training pitch. He was the last one off. Great to be around the lads. And now you're just seeing, you know, his quality week in, week out. But there's so many I could name. For me, that whole squad that won the Euros, yeah, special mentality. And you know, now we're trying to give that over to the players again and go, you know, can we do it again?
I wanted this to be your final question because you spoke about your career as Chelsea, England, and we can talk about the other clubs as well that have had their impact and influence on you. But you as the most capped fullback of all time for England, what's your state on the modern fullback? What advice would you tell man and see? Because you're looking at all these new fullbacks now. Some want to go outside, some want to go inside. How do you look at it?
Me as a left back, the way I played, I was probably good, you know, defending my box in the middle third of the pitch. I thought I was good. In the attacking third, I thought I was decent. But playing, you know, with more width, now fullbacks have to be, you know, good enough to play inside, be comfortable receiving probably with players behind them, which I still think I could have done that. But again, as you mentioned, the generations and football has evolved and changed, and fullbacks now, do they take more responsibility defending? Maybe no, but is that due to, you know, the effect that the manager or coaches want them higher up the pitch? So I don't think it's a bad thing seeing, you know, fullbacks going inside and creating overloads. You hear it all the time. But yeah, I think you have to certainly be better in all areas of the pitch. You know, technically you have to be better than, I think, my generation as a fullback, which you have to just applaud and give credit to the top ones. You know, you're seeing the Trents and the Reece James, the Robertson, who's bombing up and down but can do everything. So there's some top quality fullbacks, I feel, in the Premier League at the moment. And Doggy at Tottenham, who I think is elite. So yeah, I enjoy watching it because it's different to what I played in. I like to see, you know, the different attributes and qualities of fullbacks, and now, yeah, what you're judging them on is totally different to what maybe people would have judged, you know, the way I played.
Man, even better person than you were a baller.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, congratulations, Ashley Coleman. You deserve this, man.
Appreciate it.